Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadze. Now, what really happened in this fight? Giga was just the better fighter all the way around. He was the better kicker, he was the better puncher, he had the better counter shots, higher fight IQ, better angles. He had everything superior to Edson Barboza. And we have to put that into context. Edson Barboza is regarded as one of the best strikers in the sport. More notably, one of the best kickers, if not the best kicker in the UFC. And he got outdone even in his strongest area. Edson Barboza was even the guy pressuring the fight, which is the most advantageous thing Barboza can ask for in a fight. Usually when he's losing the striking exchanges, it's when he's getting pressured. Giga, for the most part, was sitting on the cage, and he gave Edson all the advantages he wanted, and still outstruck him. From the moment the ref commenced the fight, Giga Chikadze was on Barboza intellectually. He was reading every striking scenario. For an example, he was conditioning Edson Barboza for the Giga kick, which is, for those who don't know, it's best to get familiar because he's landing it on everybody. It's the left liver kick, and it's very weird because he hits you in the liver with like his toes. He throws it with a correct round kick, but hits you with like the toes and the edge of the ball of his left foot, making it difficult to successfully block. Even if you're guarding with your arms, it can get slightly around it and really digs into the liver with it. And of course, it's from southpaw. Edson is an orthodox fighter, so the southpaw is going to give him that natural opening for the left kick, but he was continuously going to the head with it before he attacked the body. It was a simple conditioning system that he had. When he was throwing out naked head kicks from the southpaw stance, Barboza was blocking them effectively because, again, Barboza is a very good striker defensively and offensively, specifically when he's controlling the octagon or if it's in the center. The high guard that Giga was forcing Barboza to take ultimately led the liver to be exposed, and he was landing that Giga kick. And before any of that was happening, you saw Giga Chikadze's first read was feinting in the southpaw stance, a right knee. He lifted his right knee up, and what did he see Barboza do? Lift his right leg in order to check the body kick. Giga's feint right here exposed Edson's wariness of the Giga kick right away, man, not even 2 minutes into the first round. Not only that, there was another moment where Giga just threw out a simple jab from a distance, and you saw Edson Barboza lift the knee again to check the Giga kick. That's how worried he was about the kick. That a jab triggered that reaction. You could tell right here that Barboza put a lot of respect on that kick, and from that, Giga Chikadze knew he can play around it. Or what about when Giga read a drop feint so he can go and land his right hook from southpaw over the top? So Edson Barboza was feinting with the left hand, like pumping out jabs in front of Giga Chikadze, but Giga was seeing that Edson was dropping the feint every single time, which exposes that left side. Giga Chikadze took upon him to throw a wide right hook and land it flush on Edson Barboza in that moment. Imagine thinking that you're able to land that right hook after reading someone's feint. That's absolutely absurd. Not only do you have to mask up on all your strikes to fight this guy, you gotta make sure your feints are correct. Edson Barboza's offense was, for the most part, getting neutralized. Barboza is not someone who is known to throw any kind of setups or feints or stuff like that to mix up the striking. He's very fast and powerful with perfect form in his strikes, so he just throws things naked. He throws things without any disguise, and usually he'll be able to land these strikes on opponents. The leg kicks, the body kicks, the right overhands, the check left hooks, the jabs, specifically in this division because he's longer than most guys. But there's no freebies when you fight Giga Chikadze, and he made it known in this one. If you're not masking up your strikes, you're not going to be landing them at a high frequency. Giga Chikadze checked nearly every single leg kick, slipped on most of the big overhands, most of the jabs, getting on the inside of those check left hooks. And one moment in the first round that really impressed me about Giga Chikadze, and it just showed to me this guy is coming to the UFC with a completely different level of striking. When Barboza looked to switch kick nakedly, Chikadze saw the switch immediately in such a short time and went and kicked the leg to stuff it. Jammed in the kick so Barboza could not throw the switch kick. He got hit while he was switching before the kick even came out there. That's the level that Giga Chikadze is firing on. And it just shows to me he may be the best striker in this division, one of the best strikers in the UFC for sure. And ultimately that call out of his from Max Holloway makes it all the more intriguing because Holloway is known to be the best striker in this division. So I'm very interested to watch in Giga Chikadze versus Max Holloway 100%. Now, not to go that far out, one giant disaster that Edson Barboza came into this fight with was with the wrong indication that he was the longer fighter. Maybe he didn't know that he was. Maybe he knew that Chikadze being 6 feet, 6 foot 1 inch tall with a massive reach, he probably knew that Giga Chikadze would probably be able to land on him from a farther distance, but Edson Barboza did not fight that way. He did not fight like Chikadze was the longer guy. He fought like he was the longer guy. For an example, when Chikadze would advance forward after getting pressured on the cage, he would take off the outside foot to line up his left straight. What was Barboza's defense? Pulse with his left jab and lean away. This only really works when you're the longer guy. For example, John Jones has famous for doing this against everybody because his reach is absolutely absurd. This will work when Barboza fights Dan Ige or maybe even Max Holloway, guys with a shorter reach, but it's not going to work on Giga Chikadze. It's not going to work on guys like Zabit. And the biggest one of all was when Edson Barboza was looking to hit Giga Chikadze with the check left hook. He would pull away from punches and look to counter with the left hook. Again, this will work when you're the longer guy extremely effectively. Or if you have the shorter reach and you parry the punch so nothing's coming down the center like that, because if you don't parry the punch, Barboza didn't parry any of them, you're going to get caught straight punch beat looping, and this is ultimately what caused the knockdown that led to the TKO, but Barboza was doing this the entire fight, and you're just not going to land on a longer guy by pulling away from their long punch and trying to counter them, right? Because when you're countering in that manner, you're banking on your left hook to be longer than their straight, or you're hoping for your opponent to overextend and drop their punch when you pull away so they fall into your left hook, but Giga Chikadze is never going to do that. And a very interesting part of it was that Giga Chikadze was definitely the faster fighter. The fact that he was able to throw a naked left straight from a distance with his hands down and land it on Edson Barboza of all people flush, to be able to cross the distance that quickly. He's not only faster than Barboza, who came down from 155. Giga Chikadze is going to be faster than most guys that compete at 145. With the length that he has, how powerful he is, the technical prowess that he possesses, if he only works on that takedown defense to a level where most guys are not going to take him to the ground, and let's be honest, most 145ers are not great wrestlers, so it really caters to his style, it's going to be very hard for anybody to beat this guy, even the top echelon. But things started to change for Barboza when he started to become more of a boxer in the fight. Now, he did land one good body kick and he almost ended the fight with a high kick. You can't be absolutely perfect, of course. Giga Chikadze dropped his guard a bit when Edson Barboza went in for a high kick, but Barboza actually didn't have the best form in the rotation. He didn't go that high with it. If he just went a few inches higher, this fight would have ended in the second round for Barboza. But things were changing when Barboza started going to the body with the right hook. He was landing a few and they start to slow down Giga Chikadze noticeably in the second round, but then maybe a second win in the third. Chikadze was really picking up the pace in the third round a bit, but you can see in the interview, Chikadze was not fresh at all, man. He was very, very tired on the mic, and it worries me for him if he cannot go all 5 rounds, and I'm just wondering if it's the body shots that really contribute. And I love this moment in the second round where, again, Giga Chikadze was all on, reading every single strike, and he saw the jab coming, he slipped on the inside of it, and with his right elbow, he hits the tricep of Barboza, which naturally causes Barboza to turn to his right, rotate that direction, throwing him off balance, and off of this effect, Giga has a natural profile view of Edson Barboza, so he's able to land a long left hook that Barboza's not able to see coming. Look where Barboza's eyes are in this moment right here. They're not on Giga Chikadze. He's not able to see the strike that's coming, and Giga lands that beautiful left hook. This was such a high fight IQ moment from Giga Chikadze. The more I watch this fight, the more I'm blown away by his tactics. And that's the end of the breakdown, guys. Now, I don't think Giga should be fighting Max Holloway next. He'd just be Barboza, who's number 9. So maybe Arnold Allen or Kelvin Cater. Those would be good fights for Giga Chikadze before he fights someone like Max Holloway. Can't wait to see it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.